is Called to Help the Poor and Needy. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. And with us is Patricia Said Adams. That's what you'll find her under. Patricia, thanks so much for joining us on the show to talk about your book.
Oh, sure. Call me Pat.
All right, Pat. So tell us about the book. What led you to write this book?
Well, I felt a call from God to do a video on the poor and needy in the Bible. And it was pretty clear to me soon that video wouldn't cover the subject because there's more than 2,000 verses in the Bible that refer to this call to help the poor and needy. And also I heard the Reverend Rick Warren speak about his ministry and how surprised he was to find that there were these 2,000 verses in the Bible that he hadn't even realized was a big theme of the Bible, and he'd been preaching for years. So that's what drew me into this. I figured, well, I've got to find out about this and see what it is.
What did you learn in doing the research for the book?
Well, it's overwhelming, actually. It's not just all the verses in the Bible that call us to help the poor and needy, but that's what Jesus did in his whole lifetime. He spent a little bit of time with the rich and the Pharisees, but mainly he was on the edges of the towns where the unwanted hung out, the disabled, the difficult people, the rejected, the foreigners. And it's just like that was his ministry here. And that's what we are called to do. At the end of Matthew, in Matthew 25, he talks about the sheep and the goats. And the sheep are the ones who follow him and serve others, help them with when they're hungry or thirsty or in prison or needing clothing. And those are the people who follow him. The goats are the people who ignore all the poor and needy. They just ignore them. And Jesus says very clearly, when you serve the least of these, you are serving me. And when you don't, you are rejecting me. So I think it's just this huge, big deal for God, for Jesus, for the Holy Spirit, for the whole gang of them.
I like the whole gang of them. We're speaking with Pat Adams and the book Called to Help the Poor and Needy. I love the title. What do you hope people take away from reading your book?
Well, I hope that they will absorb what I've written, especially what's in the Bible, and see what God is calling them to do about this. Because we live in a country that basically ignores the poor and needy. Mm-hmm. There are 37 million people who live below the poverty line in this country. And we tend to denigrate them. We tend to say, oh, they don't want to work. They don't, they're lazy. They're welfare mothers, and they just want, the handouts. But we never go in and into communities like this and say, well, what do you really need? How can we help you? What is it you want to do with your life, if you could? But we never do that. We just toss them aside and give them a little handout here and there.
There's that power of giving and helping, and I know that feeling, and I guarantee I know you know that feeling. Tell people what that's like. I think that would make a difference if people realized how they would feel if they just lent a hand.
Well, it's more than giving money. It's about becoming involved, actually, in people's lives, helping them with food and all of that, and getting to know them. Yeah. And when you get to know them, your life expands, because here are people who are different from you, but they can teach us things about all the people in this world, about all the people in our country that we just don't know. And so our whole ideas about them open up, and we no longer carry the prejudices, the judgments, and all of that. It's just like they're another person of God, another person created in his image. And it's very powerful.
Will you write another book?
Oh, yeah. I'm not done.
I love it. Well, this one is out now, and so you're working on another one.
Yes. I'm working on something. I don't have the real title for it yet, but Is This the America That We Want? And it's looking at all kinds of issues like health care for everyone, helping the people on the margins, gun control, all these issues and more that are plaguing us right now. And our leaders really don't know what to do about them. They either ignore them or they try, but without engaging the whole country. And after the Uvalde incident in Texas, the shooting there, I mean, people are horrified at what the lack of gun control is doing. And I was reading an article in the New York Times today that was saying that gun manufacturers, especially the AK-15s that were used in the Uvalde incident, are made by Christian manufacturers who are promoting guns. And it's just like, oh my God, this is just, it's so off the wall, I can't even imagine it.
Well, we'll wait for that next book. And again, this one is called To Help the Poor and Needy. Get it on Amazon. Pat Adams, thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Kate. I appreciate the time.